Welcome and happy Halloween. I'm so happy to see all of your faces. We're glad you are here, congregant or visitor, whoever you are, wherever you come from, whomever you love, wherever you are on your journey, however you identify, you are welcome in our faith community. If you are visiting here in the sanctuary, welcome. If you are visiting online and want to learn more about us, click on the link in the chat box. While you're in the chat, we invite you to introduce yourself and tell us from where you are watching. We are glad you are here. Now we have a skit from the auction committee.
It feels like a community event.
It feels like people will buy items and services and eat delicious food and laugh together.
And dance.
Woo!
Woo! Are we talking about the UUCA annual auction? Woo!
When is it?
That will be November 19th at 5 p.m.
Where?
It will be at AB Tech.
AB Tech.
A fun place to be. Woo!
But don't forget the deadline dates.
What are they?
November 14th to get your tickets online, or Sunday service, coffee hour,
Oh.
and childcare. Sign up by November 6th.
But what, did we cover everything? What if people still have questions?
Ooh, who should they ask?
Well, we have a committee. Big surprise. The auction committee. And some
Stand
of
up
the...
if you're here.
Yes, we have Margaret and Tori and Ann.
Woo!
And Sherry and Freda. Ask us anything. We probably won't know, but we'll find out. That was me. I probably won't know, but I'll find out.
And you can donate a dessert if you want and ask us. You can donate a service.
And ask Freda. All right, so come. It'll really be fun. You're all invited. And there's childcare that will be awesome with pizza and all kind of good stuff. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Now let us prepare for worship with today's centering music. Today we are honoring our ancestors and our loved ones who have passed away. Thank you to everyone who brought pictures of their loved ones and their ancestors. As we kindle this flame, we honor and remember those who have passed into the mystery. Their brightness lives on in our vision. Their courage lives on in our commitments, and their love continues to bless the world through us. Let us rise in body or spirit to sing the song, I'll Fly Away. The words can be found on the screen. Now, children and youth, we invite you to come forward and help decorate the Ancestor altar. Stand in two lines, one in front of Guinevere and the other one in front of Sean. Take a flower from one of them and place it on the altar. When you're done placing the flowers, come over and form a line behind me. After all the children are done placing the flowers, it'll be time to go to religious exploration and childcare. Come up here. After you place the flower, come up here next to me. You get to stand on the stage. Come on up here. Come on up here after you're done placing the flowers. Show off your costumes. Let us rise in body or spirit to sing the song as you go. The words can be found on the screen. We're going to sing the children out to religious exploration. May joy surround you as you go. Go in peace. Parents, if you're new or visiting today, please escort your children to their classes to meet the group leaders and find out where to pick up your children after worship. Let's take a moment to do some centering, taking a few deep breaths, connecting to the sacred within you. In the center of our service and in the center of our lives, let us pause to honor the silences of the world. Let us open our hearts to the silent prayer for the healing of pain, that place of quiet and the soft, gentle of love. Let us share a moment of silence. Thank you for taking a moment to connect to the divine within. Now we're going to do the joys and sorrows, and we're going to add something today. So when you come up to do the joys and sorrows, after you do that, if you want to come up to the Ancestor altar, we have some tea lights, and you can put a candle near the picture of your loved one. And if you didn't bring a picture, just put the candle wherever you want. We're going to have candles at both sides of the altar. So now is the time for acknowledging our joys and sorrows with a candle lighting ritual, and to also acknowledge our ancestors and loved ones who have passed on. If you are in the sanctuary, please feel free to come forward to light a candle. If you are online, please write in the chat box any joys or sorrows that you would like to share with the congregation. Let's take a moment to take in the beauty of the Ancestor altar and feel our loved ones here with us. We welcome you. The long summer has faded now, and these last days of October mark the beginning of the coming of winter. The frost has taken our tender plants, leaves have begun to fall from the trees, geese begin to arrive from the north. The days are cooler, the weather unsettled, and the evenings are suddenly dark. Our children have played with death and fear. Christians will mark All Saints and All Souls Day, both holidays commemorating the dead. Our Hispanic neighbors will celebrate the Day of the Dead. If we were members of traditional Mexican families, we would go on November 1st to have a picnic on the graves of our family members, celebrating, remembering, and honoring. Most of us are far from the grave sites of our ancestors, but we can still honor those who have gone before us. We remember the beloved dead, our beloved loved ones. Now I will activate our ancestor altar in a traditional pagan way by calling in the directions. Pachamama, Pachamama, Pachamama. Pachamama, Pachamama, Pachamama. Pachamama, Pachamama, Pachamama. Mama Kia, Mama Kia, Mama Kia. Mama Kia, Mama Kia, Mama Kia. Mama Kia, Mama Kia, Mama Kia. Viracocha, Viracocha, Viracocha. Viracocha, Viracocha, Viracocha. Viracocha, Viracocha, Viracocha. Inti, 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 inti. Inti, 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 inti. Inti, 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 inti. Quichi, 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 quichi. Quichi, 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 quichi. Quichi, 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 quichi. Pachamama, Mama Kia, Viracocha, Inti, Quichi, we welcome you into this space. We call upon the energies of the South, Mother Earth, and the element of Earth. Welcome. You who are grounded, who have your eyes open to enjoy the beauty of Mother Earth, the beauty of nature. We call upon the energies of the West, Grandmother Moon and Mother Ocean, and the element of water. Welcome. You who ride the waves of life with serenity, you who show courage in facing the depths of true emotion, you who create and change and flow with time. We call upon the energies of the North, sacred mountains, and the element of air and wind. Welcome. Welcome you who approach this time as a journey toward the horizon, the beginning of the next chapter, seeking all the insights and opportunities the new day offers, as the sun rises above the mountains of each new day. We call upon the energies of the East, Father, Son, and the element of fire. Welcome. We welcome you who live out your values with passion, who have a drive for transforming the world towards gratitude and healing, who are ignited by purpose. We call upon the energies of the center, sacred rainbow, and the element of space. Welcome. We welcome you who are here to seek the center, you who wish to be grounded in community, you who call our attention to the present moment. We welcome all, from every direction with all your gifts and all your limits, with all that the past week and the past year have given you. Today we remember our beloved dead. Today we give thanks to the people and the forces that helped us to reach this moment. We welcome you, ancestors and loved ones. We feel your presence here with us, just on the other side of the veil. We welcome you, ancestors. Welcome. Sean, can I get the list? This is the one, okay. And now let's take a moment to honor the loved ones who have died within the past 12 months. As I speak your beloved's name, please stand up and body your spirit. Chris Pettigrew, Leo and Flo Orbach, Betty and Ben Shallett, Myra Kershawn, Bob Kershawn, Michael Holmes, Brandon Antar, Joe Major, Barry Elkin, Ellen Wells, Paul Aiken, Dr. Charles Mayo, Ray Strickland, Marshall Shearer, Virginia Giglio, Jeannie, Lottie, Betty Beach, Priscilla Decker, Monica Vennard, Tom Alm, and of course, our beloved Reverend Mark Ward. We honor the people standing who have lost loved ones in the past year. Now let us bow our heads in prayer. Spirit of life, whom we know best in our own loving and being loved, hold us as we remember those we have loved and those who have loved us. May our gratitude sparkle in our lives. May our tears lubricate our souls. Help us to know that we are not alone in our grieving, and help us also to come to that peaceful place in which we can take what we learned from those who have gone before us into our own lives. Remind us that we, too, are mortal, and that the only enduring legacy we leave is the love that shines through our lives. Blessings to you. Let us rise and body your spirit to sing the song Amazing Grace. The words can be found on the screen or in your hymnal on page 205. We Thank you, Jason. So today we're going to talk about the pagan roots of Halloween. This sermon is inspired by Reverend Cecilia Kinman's sermon that she gave at All Souls in 2018. It also draws from these two books, Nature's Honor, Myths and Rituals Celebrating the Earth by Patricia Motley, and A Seeker's Guide to Modern Witchcraft and Paganism by Anne Lafferty. So tomorrow is Halloween. Yay! It was so fun to see the children all dressed up and to enjoy this festive day. The following day is Tuesday, November 1st, which is Hallowmas, the Christian holiday of All Saints. Almost all Christian traditions celebrated this holiday at one time. Even now, All Saints is a national holiday in many historically Catholic countries. And there's one more holiday this week. In the Roman Catholic Church, November 2nd is All Souls Day. That is also celebrated. Christian denominations celebrate these holidays because of the belief that there is a sacred connection between those who have died and those who are still living. Let me say that again. These holidays, or holy days, are celebrated because of the belief that there is a sacred connection between the dead and the living. These holidays are celebrated throughout the Western world. In much of Europe during these days, people bring flowers to the graves of dead relatives. In Eastern Europe, the tradition is to light candles and visit graves. Our Unitarian brothers and sisters in Transylvania go to the graveyards and clean the graves, place wreaths made of fir branches on the gravestones, and light candles. The holiday is celebrated similarly in the Philippines, where we have many Universalist brothers and sisters. For 3 days, people visit the graves of dead relatives, where prayers and flowers are offered, candles are lit, and the graves themselves are cleaned, repaired, and repainted. In all these regions, there are church services honoring the dead. In English-speaking countries and Protestant churches, people often sing the hymn, For All the Saints, by William Walsham Howe. In Mexico, All Saints' Day coincides with the celebration of Dia de los Inocentes, Day of the Innocents. The first day of the Day of the Dead celebration honors deceased children and infants. November 2nd is the Day of the Dead celebration. Families build private altars using sugar skulls, marigolds, and the favorite foods and beverages of the departed, and visit graves with these as gifts called ofrendas, or offerings. It is a celebration, not a spooky festival. If you've seen the Disney movie Coco, then you might be familiar with this ritual and celebration. Scholars say the modern Day of the Dead tradition in Latin America reaches back thousands of years to an Aztec festival dedicated to a goddess called Mixtiquisival, Queen of the Underworld. The ancestors of the Aztec are the Incas from Peru, who originally populated that region. The descendants of the Inca are still alive in Peru. The Q'ero people are widely known as the last living direct descendants of the Incas. They survived the Spanish conquest by receding high into the Andes Mountains. Many of the Q'ero people still live high in the mountains, some at an incredible 14,000 feet. They are known as the Q'ero Nation, and they speak the Quechua language. I had the tremendous privilege and honor of studying with a Peruvian shaman who is a descendant of the Incan people. I studied with him here in the United States and in Peru. He taught me many of the ancient spiritual traditions and practices of the Inca people, including how to call in the directions using the original language of Quechua, which is how I activated our ancestor altar today, using the Quechua language, a living tradition descended from the Inca people of Peru. This central altar is a traditional Q'ero medicine wheel aligned in the way that was taught to me by the Peruvian shaman, Oscar Miro Quesada. In Peru, the modern-day people celebrate the Day of the Dead with a celebration that blends Catholic traditions with Andean Incan rituals. On the night after, most North American and European children dress up and venture from house to house asking for candy. People throughout the Andes Mountains celebrate in a different way by staying up all night in cemeteries, eating, drinking, and partying with their dead loved ones. In Lima, the capital of Peru, the Day of the Dead spectacle takes over local cemeteries. The Cementerio de Nueva Esperanza, one of the largest cemeteries in the world, located in Lima, is transformed into a party atmosphere akin to a street festival. As the sun goes down at the Nueva Esperanza Cemetery, artists from a local collective carry an altar of the Santa Muerte, the female folk saint of death. Flowers escort the sculpture of the skeleton lady. Crowds throw incense and light candles, and she processes through the cemetery. Musicians play lively tunes on Andean pan flutes, and family members offer food and drink to their dead family members. Similar traditions are kept all over the world and have been throughout human history. In China, they celebrate the Ghost Festival. And what about those pre-Christian roots of Halloween? Well, way back before Christianity came to all the forests and fields of Britain, there are already some customs which recognize two things: the end of the season of light and the coming darkness, and the honoring of the dead. Historians link Halloween to the Celtic festival of Samhain. The name is derived from Old Irish and essentially means summer's end. The ancient Celts believed that the veil between this world and the other world became thin on Samhain, allowing spirits to pass through. Family ancestors were invited, while harmful spirits were warded off. To frighten away the bad spirits, people wore costumes and masks, dressed up like ghosts and spirits themselves. In Scotland, the spirits were impersonated by young men dressed in white, with masked, veiled, or blackened faces. These Celtic traditions were the original seed of the modern-day ritual that we currently call Halloween. In modern times, the ancient Celtic ritual of Samhain has had a resurgence with the neo-pagan movement. Neo-paganism is based on what is assumed to be ancient indigenous religions, but modern-day paganism began in 1967 when the Church of All Worlds and Fera Feria was founded. Neo-paganism shares these traits with Unitarian Universalists: a belief in the sixth source. The sixth source is spiritual teachings of earth-centered traditions which celebrate the sacred circle of life and instruct us to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature. Neo-paganisms also believe in the seventh principle, which is respect for the interdependent web of all existence, of which we are a part. Neo-paganism also focuses on a determination to stay connected to nature and to protect nature, Mother Earth. Here in this congregation, we have many pagans. If you want to learn more about the beliefs and practices of paganism, we have a group called UU CUPS. CUPS stands for the Covenant of Unitarian Universalist Pagans. In fact, the CUPS group donated the flowers today and brought in this statue to represent Samhain. And we are grateful for CUPS for bringing in the flowers and the statue. In fact, tonight, CUPS is having a Samhain ritual, if anybody wants. Who is the woman that brought in the statue and the altar? What time is that ritual starting? And where is it located? Okay, so there's a Samhain ritual here at 5 o'clock tonight, if anybody wants to come. Many pagans and Wiccans consider Samhain to be one of the most important holy days of the year. Samhain begins on the evening of Halloween, October 31st, and ends on the evening of November 1st. A common ritual is the Dumb Supper, which Anne Lafferty describes in A Seeker's Guide to Modern Witchcraft and Paganism. The table is laden with potluck dishes. There is a place setting for each person present, as well as one in front of an empty chair. This place is for the beloved dead who are being honored by this meal. The first plate filled is given to them. The living eat in silence, thinking about their ancestors and others they cared about who have passed on. When the meal is over, the leftover food, including the food that was on the plate for the spirits of the dead, is taken outside and placed on the ground. Participants might then tell stories and share memories about their beloved dead or sing a song to honor them. Sometimes the food prepared for the supper includes favorite dishes of the departed in whose honor the ritual is observed. Today we have learned about how many different countries around the world remember and honor their dead on specific holy days. While sophisticated North Americans are tempted to view some of these practices as primitive or quaint, If we dismiss the Day of the Dead or Samhain as pure superstition, we can easily miss the profound spiritual and psychological insights that make this tradition powerful. For example, a Mexican boy spending the night at his uncle's grave has a connection across time with his ancestors that our children do not. While we dwellers in a technological age are connected to the World Wide Web, cellular phones, and cable TV, we have cut ourselves off from the web of time. Traditional cultures, with their mediums and ghosts and reincarnations, have understood intuitively something we've repressed. The dead don't die. They live on. Let me say that again. The dead don't die. They live on. They live on in our hearts. They live on in our minds, in our memories. They live on in our bodies, in the memory of their touch. Which is why doing rituals like the one we did today, where we create an ancestor altar, is important. It helps us remember and honor those who died. It helps us remember that we are the living legacy of our ancestors. And now I call forth Monica Youngman to give us a testimonial.
The feeling of being home, the feeling of joy, the feeling of hope, and the feeling of being part of a greater good. I grew up in the First Unitarian Universalist Church of Rochester in Minnesota. Well, I don't remember it. My parents found the UU Church when I was 4, while we were attending a Methodist church, after I told them I had seen baby Jesus and I was certain he was alive. Growing up in the UU Church, I was all I knew. I didn't appreciate at the time how much it shaped who I am, what I stand for, and what I speak out on. While I was not active in the church as a teenager, my UU upbringing gave me the foundation to come out as bisexual in high school and speak out in the face of taunts, threats, and self-doubt. Growing up knowing that I was accepted no matter who I am, how I identify, and who I was with gave me the courage to be myself and be there for others who didn't have that foundation. When my partner and I decided we wanted to start a family, we knew we wanted to be a part of a UU congregation and started attending in Maryland in 2013. When we moved to Asheville in 2018, the first thing we did was find this congregation. During our transition, we were homeless for a week in between houses. It was such a blessing to find community in the Wednesday thing, now called Vespers. This gave our kids, then ages 2 and 4, room to run around. It gave us a meal we didn't have to prepare, and a community to connect with. It truly felt like home when we didn't have one. As we continued to attend, I witnessed our kids be accepted fully as members of the congregation, even when they were running around, walking through service, crying, or dancing to the music in the middle of the floor. I find this acceptance very special and powerful, that they are not pushed aside for being too young or too disruptive. I've watched them connect across the generations, bringing joy to our elders and seeing the wisdom our elders share with the kids. At the mountain gathering a couple weeks ago, my younger child, now age 6, would greet the kids as well as the adults, giving hugs all around. Although at 6, we are still working on the concept of consent. It has truly felt like a village of joy. I have sat in sermons that touch on what I need in that moment, when we are facing family health challenges, the uncertainty of COVID, and struggles of knowing how to be the best parent I can. In these dark moments, the powerful messages and reminders that we are all here for each other have given me hope to keep going and improving, even though I know I am imperfect. Finally, as part of this congregation, I feel I am a part of the greater good. Whether it is writing cards to get out the vote, welcoming visitors on Sunday, donating to the community plate, or participating in the Pride Parade with my family, I see each small drop coming together to effect change. I realized the impact of these small examples when, for her birthday party, my older child wanted to collect donations for the community in lieu of gifts. Last year, she chose to collect donations for beloved Asheville, and this year, she chose Manna Food Bank. Not only do I feel I can make a difference, but it is powerful to see that commitment to be a part of the greater community, a part of the greater good, instilled in the next generation. This is what I have experienced and the value I see in this congregation. As we look to our future together and who we want to become, I see our unique strengths and the room to grow in embracing diversity, expanding inclusion, and really living our values. As the hymn, "We Are a Gentle, Angry People" says, we are young and old together. We are gay and straight together. We are many colors together. Through our time, our talent, and our treasure, we can truly welcome everyone to experience the feeling of being home, the feeling of joy, the feeling of hope, and the feeling of being part of a greater good. Thank you.
Thank you for being here with us today, whether this is your first time or you've been here hundreds of times. Our announcements run as slides at the beginning of the service. If you miss them, just refer to I think it's Wednesday's weekly e-news, as everything is described there. This week, join us for First Wednesday dinner at 6 p.m. and the Vesper service at 7 p.m. Details in the e-news with a link to RSVP. There is no fee for dinner, and we are excited to welcome cellist Quetzal Jordan, who will be providing Vespers music. Our community plate, this recipient this month, is Beloved. Donations are collected throughout the month and online. Today's offering will now be collected and gratefully received. For the gifts of your time, presence, talents, and treasure, we are grateful.
Thank you for being a part of this service today. For our closing words, the circle is open but unbroken. We release the directions. We remember our loved ones on the other side of the veil. No matter how sad or lost we may feel, we each have gifts that can make a difference in the world. In this coming week, may you do at least one thing to support the grieving, to welcome the stranger, to celebrate what is worthy, to do the work of justice and love. Be strong, be connected. Each day act so you may be a little bit more whole. Please rise in body or spirit as we sing our closing song, followed by the postlude, followed by a time of fellowship in Sandburg Hall. If you need to leave during the postlude, please do so quietly so others can enjoy the music. And remember to retrieve your pictures from the Ancestor altar as you're leaving. Let us sing the song, Long Time Son. The words can be found on the screen. May the long-time sun shine upon you, and all love surround you. May the pure light within you guide your way home. May the long-time sun shine upon you, and all love surround you. May the pure Thank you. Thank you, Jason, for your musical stylings. Please join us in Sandberg Hall, and we can connect and talk to each other. Thank you.